All right, cool, we are live. All right, guys, we're gonna go over some stocks. Let's do a quick 20 minutes pre-market streaming through. Let's just get this going. Let's create the goal. Super chats. Let's go 50 chats. Red or higher. Start the goal. All right, let's get started. So how do they see this? All right, everybody can hear me? All right, so let's get started. So let's just go over a quick 30 minutes. Let's go over the stocks. Let's go over the analysis. Let's do a quick look. Let's start looking at Webull. Let me see this. It's more important. There we go. All right, so looking at Webull, let's go over NVIDIA first. NVIDIA yesterday sold off right at the open. I think what we need to do is be careful here. We need to be aware of where our levels are. Looking at the 1 year chart, you can tell we started coming down more, so we have to move this down a little bit. And there wasn't much buyers when you look at this. Look how thin this candle is from 116 up to 119. Not many buyers jumping in there. Just taking a quick look at the long-term chart on this, we can see right here that there is basically support right around this 110 area, and a lot of sellers coming in at the 115. But zooming in on the 5-day chart, this is what we're focused on. Focus on the weeklies when you're doing your charting, especially trying to see where's the next opportunity here. We need to see if NVIDIA is going to reclaim this level right here. So I just want to show you. Let's go on the drawing tool. Let's make this a little bit thicker, and let's make this yellow to stand out. So looking right here, you can see here, boom, make this bigger. For those of you new to Webull, this is a good thing to use here. All right, so look, so what we're looking for is here, we're looking for a retest to come up here, retest the 117 level, and then blast up into resistance. If we can break that 120 level today, that's kind of where I would like to be looking for it. I'd want to see that retest level finally get broken, go from there, and look for that move up. But you have to be aware that there is clear resistance right in this area right here, which you can see at the 119 to 120. There is resistance. So we need to see if that's going to happen. The other likely move that I think would be smart if you're looking to short this stock, wait for the consolidation right here, come up, consolidate at 119.5. This is right at the open, and then trade that sell down back to about 112. That would be the other play I'd be looking for when it comes to this, looking for the downside move. That's how I would be looking at NVIDIA right now. Let's see where it goes right at the open. Is it going to hold this level at 116, or is it going to retest the 119 and then fail off of this level and then drop back down? We'll see how this plays out. We'll just leave this up so the next time we're here, we're going to find out what it did. because there's clear resistance points here at 119, and you have to go off of history right now. It's been selling off at the open, which is what it did the other day, 115 all the way down to 109. That was the break of the morning, and then sold off. So that is definitely something that I would be looking at. Looking at Google now. Let's move to Google. Google's getting interesting. I love this. I've been buying stocks. I've been buying shares of Google. On the 1 year chart, you can see that they had this nice trend. It's been bouncing on these long-term trend lines. It does look weak, but I'm going to continue to add at this level. I do believe that there's a potential support around 165, 166. So I've been buying the dip on these. Those either members of the YouTube channel or the WAP have seen the entries. So you can definitely see where I'm at with this. Looking at the 3-month chart, I think it's clear. Sorry, the 1-month chart, you can see that we are struggling for Google to get above 173. So what I'm looking for today is, you know, every time you trade the markets, you got to look for what are the possibility of the moves. So for what I'm looking for is I want to see, can we blast up, consolidate, and then make a move leg higher? And I want to see a move up to 180. That's really what I'm looking for when it comes to Google. I want to see if we can get that bullish momentum continuing, or was yesterday just shorts covering? Was that just a short covering? Because if it is, I think what you're going to see is this. If it is a short covering, what we're looking for is, let's see if we just drop at the open. If we don't drop at the open, even better. What we can do is look for this move, which would be a short opportunity. Let me just move this up for us, just like this. So it blasts up and then starts consolidating at the 173 and then rejects. That's the other move that I'll be looking for. So for me, there's 2 plays that I'm looking for with Google. Just waiting and let the trade come to you. Wait for it to happen. Wait for your opportunity. This is what you need. And looking at the grand scheme of things, you can see we've had these multiple touch points at 173. So this is kind of how I would do it, trying to find out the best opportunity for this. All right, next stock, let's go over Meta. We're just going to go through the big caps. I like to trade the big caps. And looking at the big caps here, we can see that Meta is on a upwards trend. So you can use Webull. Click over here, you can go to the trend channel, and then you can just draw the trend channel right here. So we are at the lower end of the channel around 640. So I can understand why people are starting to enter positions here. Taking a look here, what I would try to do is just be patient on this stock. I think we have more downside if the market gets weak. And I think what we need to do is wait for a pullback to about this $600 level. If you can get the $600 level, you have multiple support touches. You can easily make a defined entry and stop loss. And that's what I'd be looking for. So looking at it here, let's see if we get that pullback. I'm wondering if we are just getting some consolidation right here at this level. I want to see if we're just consolidating right here and then make the leg down. That's kind of what I'm looking for with Meta. The other short-term entry that you could try, but I really think this is kind of guessing at this point, and you're really gonna have to use the level 2s and just analyze the markets, is this 640 range. Is this turning into a support level? Only time will really tell on this, looking at it from here. So it's either gonna be that, or you're looking for this entry right here. So let me just move over here so you can see it. I'm just trying to get to the draw mode. So here's drawing mode. Set this as the default. I don't know why it's doing this. There we go. Boom. Boom. There we go. Applies default. There we go. So now you get this move where it consolidates, and then it makes its leg higher. That is the other move for it too. Will it hold that 640 level? If 640 breaks, I think we're headed for more downside. Looking at it personally. Next stock, we already went over NVIDIA. We did Google. We did Meta. Let's look at Intel real quick. Looking at Intel, I post this on my WAP. I think that we have more downside coming for Intel. I think it's kind of clear to see that this stock is struggling. And I would not be surprised if we get a leg down to about $20, a little consolidation, and then moves down to $20 per share. That is kind of where I'm assuming the line in the sand is going to be here for some support before you get to $18. Intel has not announced a new CEO, so I can imagine that this might be the potential leg down here that we are looking for, where I think it'd be a safer way to enter and make a entry and a stop loss. I mean, if you're entering around $20, you know that you have to cut your losses below $18.51. That is the low right here. I wouldn't even let it get to that point. I would cut it at $19, so you can risk 50 cents maybe, and then get to there. Next, I would look for which stock. I just want to go over QQQ real quick. QQQ, when you look at it on the multi-year chart, has been in this upwards channel. You want to try to buy at the bottom of the channel the best you can. If you're going to look for a support level, I think 450 is your psychological level, but we're going to need some more negative news, more negative sentiment, probably with politics or something going on that's going to push this down lower. I could imagine buyers are coming in. This is a big indecision candle right here after you just had a move all the way from 540 all the way down here, 8% down. So I can understand why buyers would be coming in here, especially long-term buyers, not looking to exactly get the bottom, but just looking to get into the position. So that can happen as well. So I definitely would be aware of that. You may have some bulls coming in trying to push this back up now, but we'll see. Next, let's go over Tesla. Tesla's a stock. I have them in the YouTube portfolio. I'm still being patient on them. I'm waiting for this like 240, 249 area to eventually get a position in them. I mean, look at this chart. It looks broken. It's just continuously on this downtrend. So you just got to be careful. I'm waiting for like that last plunge of just selling pressure to come in. It doesn't mean it's going to come, but I want to see it either, retest 250 and then fail for a move lower down to about 200. That would be the ultimate entry, I think, to get back into Tesla and take that position. But we have to see. I mean, you're looking at their company, their margins, the cars in Europe, the sales are not as good right now. There's a lot of political pressure with Elon, so I'm wondering if we are going to get that sell-off. I'm going to continue to be patient. It has not been proven to change its direction. It is still in the downwards trend. So if you're going to buy this, don't try to time the bottom. I mean, you clearly have touches of support around this 260 area, but you just have to be careful looking at it. Next, I want to go over MU. This is another member of the WAP that trades MU a lot, so I definitely just want to review this for him. If you're part of my WAP, you just give me the stocks that you like, and I'll review it during the pre-market analysis for you. Looking at it here, we have this consolidation, and we're trading in this zone where you can kind of see, let me mark off these levels of resistance here around 110. Let's just say 110 right there, and then you also have the support around $85. Zooming in at the 6-month chart, it gets a little more clearer. You can see we're trading in this wide range of $84 up to $110. This has been selling off like this. Now, just taking a look at this, you just have to be very careful. We're trading at $92 per share. Moving more into it here, you have the $90 range right here. I would definitely be cautious looking at this. I do believe that MU is still on like that consolidation phase, so you really can't pick a direction on this. So I would just be cautious with this. Just taking a look at this, all right? So just watch out, see if you're gonna sell off lower. We retest $71, $72. It just has to get out of this channel first. It's consolidating. I wouldn't be picking up shares at this point. I would just watch. Chipotle, it's another member of the WAP. This guy in our WAP likes to buy Chipotle, and he owns it for the long term. I think it's a good move. You look at the 5-year chart, it's been on an uptrend. Look at the max chart, it's in a clear uptrend. If you had a pullback really back to like $43, that would be awesome. I don't know if that's really gonna happen though, trying to line this up. When I'm looking in the short term here, I think if you're gonna take positions, you can try around 52.5 with your stop being right below this, because you can see that it just drops off a cliff after this. So definitely watch out for that angle. Next, I would look for SMCI. SMCI is basically went all the way pumped up to $66, back down to $35. Now you're looking for a potential move right here to break. If we can break and come down here to $35 again, let's just prove that it's making higher highs. It needs to hold at least $35 just to prove that it is up at this level. So just be cautious. It's in a downtrend as well. You can see it when you move down on the 1-month chart. These are your levels. It bounced off $33. It's definitely a risky play. Looking next, let's see here. SMH. SMH you need to pay attention to. This rejected its 235. It's continuously making lower lows. If you want to make this make more sense, you can see it just like this. It traded within this time frame of 250 down to 235. Now what it's doing, 235 down to 218. We're going to find out, is this just stair stepping down and the semiconductors are going to have a rough 2025? That is a potential possibility here, especially if the news is not good with NVIDIA, which is the big dog of SMH. Just looking at it on a 5-year chart, you are consolidating in this range. So definitely be cautious, watch those levels, and you need SMH to be pulling higher above 235 before you think about taking long positions. That's kind of how I look at it. Looking at PLTR, this stock is holding on right now at $85. $78 is the bare minimum. It went all the way down from 125 down to 78, which is a big pullback, and I think it was a necessary pullback considering its move from like $10. It's about 35% pullback, as you can see here. So looking at that, we definitely just have to be cautious here. Let's see, is PLTR going to break $80? If it does, I think we're headed lower down to the 65 range. I'm not a buyer in these ranges. I'm waiting for about $40. So I just set my alerts. I'm not trading PLTR, but if you wanted to do a short-term trade on it, just make sure it's holding that $80 level. I'd rather be buying it up higher and then trying to trade the support level. If it breaks that resistance at $90, gets a little higher and then goes from there. That's one way to look at it. AMD, this is like the weaker of the semiconductor chips right now. I mean, if you look at it, if you bought just dollar cost average down, 227 down to 184, down to 175, it's clearly sold off. You have support here, which it was retesting around $95, $96. Buyers are coming in. I definitely would be looking at a potential dip buy opportunity on these guys, looking for this type of play, going like this, dip buy down to 93, 94, maybe $92, consolidate, and then see if we can get that retest back up to about $100 per share. That would be almost like an 8 to 10% move looking at it from there. So AMD, I definitely would be aware of what you're looking for. And also, if you want any stocks to be reviewed before 9:30, just ask me, just post it. Post in the chat. All you have to do is be a subscriber to post. Post in the chat which stocks you would like to review. Okay. All right, cool. So now, I just went down on that. Let's go back to that live chat. There we go. Okay. All right, so now let's go over our next stock here. We're going to go over Salesforce. Salesforce has been selling off. They had their earnings recently, I believe, 287 they went down to. We were 378 down to 278. Salesforce is a stock that if I'm going to hold long term, it's very difficult to see. I mean, you can see this kind of long-term trend chart from about 2022. This is kind of where I would draw it out. So they are approaching this. It is more difficult to find a support level on these guys. Let's see here, maybe around 250s. You can get like that psychological level support. You have 235 where you have that pull. So I definitely would be cautious with that. I would just be wary. You could watch this level 280s, but I would just watch it for now. I wouldn't make a trade on it. Let's go over Lockheed Martin. This is a stock that we called out. We were looking at on the 6-month chart. Right here, 416 up to about 450. And now we're starting to pull back. It has to hold this 450 level. If it doesn't, I believe we're going to see more downside here because you can see there is resistance performing on Lockheed Martin around 460. So if it consolidates and makes its move lower, I would look for 435 to see a potential support level. Looking at Uber, waiting for this stock to sell off. This stock is trading within this channel right here. I personally think Uber is going to go down. Not financial advice, obviously. But just looking at it, I just don't see how this is going to continue right here. It looks like the resistance right here goes to about $80 and then boom, failure back down to about $70. That's what I'm looking for with Uber if it decides to make that move. No love for Uber, unfortunately, right now. Microsoft, I think, is a good opportunity here. We're at 388. We broke those lows. You could see it right here. around 389, started selling off. Let's see if we can get a retest at 380, 382. I definitely would keep an eye on for that. Just going back on the 6-month chart, just so you can see, we are trading within this zone. We have resistance at 405 down to 380. So let it decide what it's going to do. Look what the trend is telling you. It's completely going lower right now. So if you're going to buy, I would look for long-term buys. I like Microsoft as a buy and hold, not really a day trade. But if we do snap this 380 level, we can come down to about 350, and that would be excellent to see. Let's go over 2 more stocks, and then we'll wrap this up. Home Depot. Home Depot I'm watching for a trade. It's a stock I like trading around 370. Let's see here real quick. Looking at the 1-year chart, you can see we are holding, teetering at 380 right now. Stocks are definitely a little weak. We can make a move back down to 360s, make some more adds to the YouTube portfolio. That would be interesting to me. And last but not least, let's just go over what's most important. QQQ. Looking at the overall market, we got that trade trading at the bottom of 500. It's got to reclaim 500 for these stocks to actually start making a push higher. This is the tech stocks. All right, guys, I'm going to end the live stream. If you liked it, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and consider just checking out the YouTube channel as well. We got the disclaimer, not financial advice. And also check out the playlist with the Trading Peanut 2025 members only, where I give different stocks I'm looking at, more in-depth analysis, Fidelity, index funds, ETFs, Vanguard, investments, Trading Peanut 2024, 2023, and day trading on Fidelity. You can check that out. And also be sure to check out the WAP. This is what I offer. It's an extra service. We have over 20 members, so I appreciate you guys supporting the channel and the WAP. It's where you get to directly chat with me about stock levels, charts, and trades. And there's just so much more analysis on it. And also check out the Twitter as well. We have that here too. So definitely be sure to check that out. All right, guys, until next time.